How are you, Raiders family? It's Bourkeys here, and welcome to my post-match review against the Roosters Round 9 Magic Round last Sunday at Suncorp. I was lucky enough to be there watching the game live. So, look, if I missed some certain things in my top 10, I do apologise. If you saw certain things on the screen or on replays that I may have missed, you don't get the benefits, obviously, in a box of trying to watch a replay by watching the game live. So I do apologise, but there were certain things I really picked up with the game, which I'm going to cover shortly. Suffice to say that I don't think we're too far off pushing the top three, to be honest with you, from what I saw myself live about the way we're moving, our cohesion and our spread was most impressive. But look, I'll cover some of these issues through the top 10. Number one I want to talk about this week is our left edge. So Nick, Jared, see you when he comes on, Ryan Sutton, those type of guys. Our left edge on the weekend, watching it live, was moving beautifully. Really slick, good width. Jack's balls to Jared to put him in space for the try was exemplary. And I think our left edge, now that we don't have a right edge, so to speak, because of Bateman, Tapani, BJ and Rapana out, our left edge is going to be our go-to edge, I think, for the next 5 to 6 weeks. So it was most impressive against a very, very solid Roosters right edge defence, even without Latrell for a period of time and Boyd Cordner. We still made a lot of yardage around that Roosters area. I beg your pardon, the Roosters right edge of Manu and Cooper Cronk. We made a lot of really good yardage against those guys, and I think there's a little bit of a secret there. As I said in my preview, I don't think Manu and Cronk are solid defenders in relation to trying to pick guys off and trying to read plays. So I think we can learn a little bit from that Roosters right edge when we play them again in the semis about how to pick them apart on that area. But our left edge moved beautifully on the weekend. The way that Jack's able to run the ball, his speed off that first 10 to 15 metres is fantastic. And I said the width of the passes really stretched the Roosters. And I'll stress again, Cooper Cronk's 35. So we need to remember that next time to really move him around a lot more. But our left edge was great on the day. Number two, I've gone for offloads. Now, I'll come to Corey Horsburgh shortly. But we really seemed to make an impact once we started to get a few offloads into our game. Horsburgh did a really good one early, which set the tone when he came on. He had 3-4 guys on. He was able to pop the ball out. Papali's try, the Oldfield try when Papali offloaded to Whitehead on the inside, who hit Oldfield out on the right edge, was fantastic. These sorts of things unsettle guys, and we haven't really offloaded this year like we have in previous years. Obviously, with our main offloader being BJ being injured, he's usually the one that gets those offloads away and gets that momentum and that second phase play happening. But I think now we've lost our right edge, this onus needs to fall on some of these other guys, particularly around that middle area. So your Horsburghs, Josh Papali, Whitehead, those types of guys, Ryan Sutton, really need to be open and aware of that second phase play to give Hodjo that space around the ruck that he needs. Number three, I've gone for Hudson Young. For a guy that's played 4 games, but his first run on the day, he did not look out of place. He missed 1 or 2 tackles where he may have went in a little bit quickly and try and do a big hit. But on the day, his footwork close to the line is very, very good. He's able to move laterally really well and beat guys close around the ruck. That's so important if you can break a tackle here and there, because what it forces the defence to do is send in another reinforcement to make that tackle that's been missed. So Hudson was exemplary on the weekend, I thought, as well, being a 4 or 5 rookie game with what he performed at in that pace with the pedigree against him. Of the calibre of player, it was top notch. He will not let the team down. He's going to be better for the run. And I think against some of these South Sydney tanks this weekend, they're big fours, but I'll cover that in my top 10 later on in the week. Hudson Young's footwork close to the line, as we saw against Penrith the week before when he scored his try, it's going to be really important for us. Number 4, I've gone for Corey Horsburgh. I watched Corey a lot on the weekend. I like the way he plays. He followed instructions very well. A number of times Hodjo said, I want you to run here and run there. And he did what he was told. Most important that he plays as a team. As I said, his offloads were important. And I'll come back to South Sydney again this week. They've got big forwards that don't like to be moved around. The Roosters forward pack, man for man, sort of matched up pretty well against our pack from an area of manoeuvrability, their weight and the way they can move laterally. Their pack sort of was similar to ours, not being overly heavy, other than Warrior Hargraves. But the rest of their pack was pretty much on a par with weight, height and that sort of thing. So it was a good matchup for us. The Rabbitohs are big meatheads in relation to size and they don't move too well, all the Burgess boys and so on. So I think if Corey can get those offloads happening, he loves a rumble, he loves a contest. And these are the sort of guys we need to bring on really to make their mark at that 20-minute mark. Our bench needs to be intimidating and letting their bench players know that we need to win this battle to win the game. So once again, Corey was top-notch. Number 5, I've gone for Hodjo, and that's what allowed Hodjo to do. On the weekend, once again, watching live, his passes left and right in the ruck were exemplary. They were bullet-like, they were flat, and he was able to get Jack and Sam running onto the ball because his passes were so beautifully, and the trajectory was really good straight into the breadbasket to allow the guys not to have to go behind and lose half a second to pick the ball up. By the time you do that and you're trying to throw this way, your attackers are in front of you. So those passes from Hodjo really enabled us to spread the ball well. And Hodjo's really getting back some momentum now that we know that he's used to and can perform week in, week out, because these younger guys are winning that ruck area. So he had a fantastic game. The way he marshalled the troops, would like to see him probably kick a little bit more still. I think he can catch that element of surprise with his kicking, particularly 40-20s. Again, this week against the Rabbitohs, probably going to be greasy, so the ball's going to skid to those 20-metre lines. So just want to see him probably kick a touch more. Number 6, I've gone for CNK. Nickel Clockstat was enormous again on the weekend. I just can't sing his praises enough, some of the work that he's doing around that ruck area to get us out of trouble. He's so light on his feet. It's nearly Ponga-like. The thing with CNK is he's trying to get through in a lot more traffic than Ponga does. Ponga's 1 or 2 off the ruck with his step. CNK is doing a lot more grunt, dirty, crappy work through that middle third for us, giving our forwards a break, getting our wingers involved as well for the quick play the ball from dummy half. Sharnese plays that ball very quickly, gives us that roll on. But his form so far, we've been very, very fortunate with what Peter Mulholland's done for the club in getting him over here to us. He looks fit, strong guy, confident. He's a half glass full type of guy, and he's just going to go from strength to strength over the next couple of weeks. Number 7, I've gone for Havili. He was a tank again on the weekend, full of venom, full of passion with his runs, and he just asked a lot of questions of those Roosters middle third. The Warrior Hargreaves, the Tokiahos, those types of big defenders. He was asking a lot of questions of them. Once again, we're going to need that this week against the Burgess boys, but the Burgess boys do not move as well as the Roosters pack. So I think Havili can really use his bulk and brawn to get over the top of these guys with a bit of footwork to get that momentum. But I thought Savili's game on the weekend was terrific for us and just had that bench impact with Corey, Sia when he came on. Bailey was used sparingly, obviously, once Jordan went down, but as a winger, he did his job really, really well. But Havili was big. Number 8, I've gone for the first 20 minutes. Now, obviously, we lost the game there. From the first 20 minutes, if we can just tuck in as a bad memory, learn from it. But the next hour, the next 60 minutes, if it was 12-10 or 12-all or 10-8 at half time, we would have won that game. Make no mistake about it. We were all over the Roosters in the second 40, even they got to 30-6. The thing about what we didn't do, we didn't panic or look at the scoreboard. We just continually played our natural game. That's maturity. We didn't try and play catch-up football, throw miracle passes. When you throw miracle passes at 30-6, it's 42-46-6 before you know it, because the opposition have got the ball inside your half, they've worked their set of 6 tackles, and they've scored. So we didn't panic in that respect. So that's an absolute bonus for us to know that we can continue our team process, our team methods, and grind our way back into these types of contests. So 30-24, we could have drawn level in the last minute. the game's an 80-minute game. We weren't too far off in achieving that result just by being patient, and that's a sign of a great football team we have here, not a good or an okay football team, is that we didn't panic trying to get those points and make them up. Number 9, I've gone for Jack, another stellar performance. As I said, just live, you can just see the speed and the momentum he brings to our left edge now with the unwariness of the opposition in defence. So a number of times the like of Cronk and Manu and Mitch Orbison and those guys couldn't really handle Jack. The speed he moves across the field laterally, and as a fullback he did that beautifully as well. The way he moves from side to side really had the Roosters 6s and 7s. The big thing is, once again, Jack's flat pass he was getting from Hodjo 10, 15 metres off the ruck, flat and with Jack at pace. That's what I said a couple of weeks ago. Jack needs to get that first receiver now at pace with a flat ball. That's when he's at his most dangerous. When he's not as productive as when he's taking the ball standing still and then trying to take off. So if he can get 2-3 metres deeper from that on that left side and get the ball at pace, it just flows the rest of the attackers up with him. They're taking off at the same time with him, and that gives us those options, those second-man plays, inside balls, and so on. Look, I'll say it again. At the start of the year, I thought this was a bad move, and I made it very public on my Facebook page. I'm happy to eat the humble pie now. I think 9 rounds in, getting towards 10, obviously 10 rounds this weekend. This has not been an error of judgment from Ricky. He sat down and looked at this incredibly well, and it's been a bonus for our team, and I think Jack can only get better. His kicking game on the weekend a little bit wonky here and there. He put 1 or 2 out for a 7-set repeat, but all in all, there's some really positive signs for us, guys. And number 10, I have gone for the grind. I know I mentioned the first 20, but as I said, that last 60 minutes, we were in that game up to our eye teeth with the things we were doing. We got to our kicks. Once the Roosters got to 30, they never scored again for what they scored 3 minutes after half time. So they held scoreless for 35, 37 minutes of that second half. That's very un-Rooster-like when they're in a match. And they never dropped off. Sure, they had Cordner off and Latrell. Latrell came back on with 20 to go, so they were nearly at full strength. But we really matched them pound for pound with those little 1%ers. The kick chase, the chase from marker, all those little things where it's a simple thing, attitude, not ability, and we matched the Roosters in that. We didn't win, but I think we won the long game, and I think we've got a lot more upside to what we're doing than the Roosters once we get some of our right edge players back. Your Batemans, your Tarpanys, Jordan, maybe BJ, not sure. But we can really take some good lessons from this Raiders family and be up and positive about what's ahead of us. So, guys, that's it for this week. As always, thank you so much for your support. You get me on my Bourkeys Top 10 page. Hit me up on Twitter at Bourkey Top 10. I've now got my YouTube channel up and running. You can click the link on my Facebook page when I put this video up, which is at Bourkeys Top 10 on YouTube. If you want to hook into me there and subscribe there, that would be wonderful. Podcast will be up shortly as well for your Apple, Google Play, Pocket Cast, Spotify, so all the main platforms for your potties will be up as well shortly, guys. I'll be back probably Friday afternoon, Friday night for the preview against the Rabbitohs. As always, guys, have a great week. Bleed green. This is Berkey out. Bye for now.